What's up, everyone? Welcome back to another episode of Boleros. Sam here with the Sultan of Sando, Mr. Gablim, and Mr. Maui Yap. Today, we are going to talk about Asia Basket and NSAC College
Andy Gemao is
Basketball
back.
Campus Tour. And we're leading with that. Andy Gemao is back in the UAP, is
Kumahanap
back
ng
in the
Dixie Cup.
preseason. I think like
He was there last off-season,
the
so
second straight off season. Now we're going to see Andy Gemao, and the Andy Gemao hype train has been going on. I think we talked about him briefly nung last episode natin about Asia Basket. Just a quick review of the timeline. I think the first time people started talking about Andy Gemao probably playing for UP, he posted on Instagram a picture of like the floor. And then dun sa floor ng basketball court, yung shoes niya, and then may kita mo dun sa floor, may onting maroon, may onting green. People on Reddit were saying, oh, he's joining UP. This is his announcement. He's going to play for UP this coming season. So turns out he is here playing with UP, practicing with UP. We saw him play for UP
not
in
official
Asia
yet.
Basket this weekend.
Until our
But
friends,
nothing official yet. Yes, nothing
until our
official
friend
yet. This is
Navs makes it
just
official.
correct.
Shout out to
Correct.
Navs.
Tama. I agree. Shout out to you, Navs. Shout out to All-Star Mag. Um, but he has lived up to the hype, and I think the UP fans are hyped because he played in the UP gym kasi nandun yung Asia Basket. Again, shout out to Asia Basket for doing a campus tour. Hit the game-winning free throws and gave UP their first and only lead of the game, winning the game by 1 point against Benil, Gab, Maui. I guess reactions to Andy Gemao's first off-season game this year. Thoughts on what this means for Andy Gemao and for UP? Let's start with you, Gab.
I love what he showed. Obviously, he has the green light from the coaching staff and from Coach Goldwyn. His first stint on the court, he was the point guard, the primary point guard. He served as the backup to Noiri Mogat. But during the third quarter and in the fourth quarter, he was playing with Noiri Mogat. So playing beside him as an off guard. He had a ton of usage. That's one thing. He was free to do anything he wanted, and just like with Kiefer Alas, when we talked about Kiefer, Andy Gemao does not look like a rookie. Very composed. I love the reads that he did. He was dishing it off to Gani Stevens. He was dishing it off to the corner to Chico Briones for a three. He had 5 assists in the game. Just very nice reads. His basket, I think right before the game-winning free throws was a very difficult pull-up 2 from just inside the 3-point line. There was another basket where it was swung to him in the wing. The handoff to Jacob Baila was blocked. So he drove left, stopped on a dime, waited until the defender went past him, and then put it off the glass. Very composed. I love how mature his game is so far, and again, it's just one game. But obviously, the training abroad has expanded his game. When he was in Letran as a juniors, in the juniors, he was an athletic specimen. He was more athletic than the rest of the competition, so that's how he got his numbers. So he thrived in that up and down, up tempo style. But now there's a little bit of more maturity in his game. I love that he can score on all 3 levels. He can take to the basket. He can shoot you mid-range jump shots, and he had the green light. I think right as he was subbed in, he took a shot. And I think in the first 2 minutes that he was on the court, he took 4 shots. So you knew that he was told by Coach Gold, just go crazy. And yeah, what a way to have a home game in yung in the UP gym, I think the varsity training centers is what they call it, and with the home crowd there delivering the win. This was by far the best game of the weekend, and I think if you're trying to analyze UP for the upcoming season, this is the game that you want to look at, especially with Andy Gemao there. Uh, the game against Lyceum, I'm not looking at that much because a lot of the guys rested. That's more of a mirage. Let's don't take the stuff there yung with a grain of salt. But the game against CSB, that's the that's the one you have to focus on. And I think Andy Gemao yung definitely showed his wares. Again, it's not yet a sure thing that he's going to the UP Fighting Maroons. Again, it's not official. This could be just like last off season where he suited up in Pinoy Liga. Who knows if he's really gonna play in UAP season 89? But if he does, this is a big wrinkle to do the UP Fighting Maroons and a big get for UP. We'll talk about what this means to the other guys on the roster later, but definitely a great preseason debut for Andy Gemao. Maui.
Maui, thoughts on Andy Gemao and as the prophet, what do you think are the chances of Gemao joining UP this coming season?
Uh, Ako, I'll base it on why Kiefer Alas also decided to go to back the Philippines. I think Andy Gemao will decide to go to UP if no top team offers him some scholarship and no NCAA top Division 1 team. And I think it's imminent. We should have we should have been hearing some rumors. 'Di ba? Alam mo naman Pilipino, 'di ba? We hear so many rumors, there are so many rumors created out of nowhere. So I think there's a very big chance. There's a huge chance that Andy Gemao will decide to play for UP. I think sinadya talaga ng UP to play him when the games were at the UP gym. And I was actually debating with one of my cousins. Is he better than Kiefer Alas? He's 2 years older than Kiefer Alas, but based on that one game, I was really impressed. I love how he handles his speed. He's very athletic. As Gab mentioned, he's very composed. Some of his pull-up jumpers were reminiscent of Russell Westbrook jump shots from back when he was a mid-range specialist. Some of his followaways that he made were also reminiscent of Russell Westbrook's good bad decision making to shoot tightly contested shots. But you can see the talent. You can see the talent. You can see that he has another gear. This is better than Andy Gemao was a year ago. I would say 100%. The training abroad is clearly working. He will not look like a rookie if he decides to suit up in the UAAP. I'm sure he will be one of the top players right off the bat. I love, as Gab mentioned, I love how he can score from all three levels. I love how parang si Alas, he doesn't look like a rookie. He's not rushing any shots. He's not rushing getting to the paint. Very composed. Alam mo that he knows that he's talented. He knows that he has the potential to be good. And if UP gets him, beware the rest of the league, because I think si Andy Gemao could be a top player, a top 5 to 10 player in the UAAP right off the bat. That's how. Maybe it's recency bias. Maybe I was just impressed during that game, but I love how he was able to handle himself, especially in a close game, because that's when you really see if a player is ready for the big stage. And Andy Gemao was ready for that big game against CSB, leading UP for that huge comeback win.
Okay, so sabi ni Maui, high chance that he can join UP this coming season. You heard it here first from the prophet. Gab, I want to go back to what you said earlier. Assuming Andy Gemao commits to UP, obviously if he's going back to the Philippines, I think we can all agree, everyone knows he's going to UP if he goes back to the Philippines.
Medyo shocker na
Biglang
lang kung
NC
yung
pala
hindi
eh.
siya mag-UP, di ba? I mean, he
Biglang NC
suited up
pala
for
eh.
UP twice already. 2 off
That's crazy.
seasons.
Okay, so we all know he's going to UP. What does this mean for UP fans? What can they expect with the lineup? How does this affect the other players on the team? You sort of alluded to it earlier.
Well, anytime you bring in a player who, as for just one game, again, just one game, but anytime you bring in a player who's going to demand a ton of shots like he does and a ton of touches, there
And
are players.
deservedly so, I would say. It's just
Yeah,
one game.
it's just one game. But anytime you bring in that type of player, there's a lot of other players who have to adjust around him. We've all seen UP in multiple games already in this off season. They've mostly defaulted to Noire Mogat as their number one option. He's there. He's the alpha. He's the leader of this team. He's clearly the superstar. The offense centers around him. I don't think it's gonna be that way with Andy Gemao there. They played together in the second half. Noire Moga still hit these big shots. But we all know how that worked out last season with another alpha with him in Harold Alarcon. So have they solved that dynamic? Didn't work out last season with Harold Alarcon and Noire Mogat. Cost them even a title because of Harold's disappearing act in Game 3. So that will be interesting. Is he solely going to play the off guard next to Rimogat? Is he going to be the backup of Noy Rimogat? Because there are other guards, and talking about the other guards in the lineup, you would expect si Noy Rimogat will get around 25 to 30 minutes a game. Easy, because he's the leader. He's the number one option. Number 1A siguro if Rimogat if Gemao eventually goes there. Gemao looks like he is also a number 1/number 1B option. So he's gonna get his 25 to 30 minutes a game. Where does that leave guys like Rainier Maga? Where does that leave guys like Payosing? Is Poyos still the backup point guard? Is he still gonna get some minutes, or is he gonna be relegated like Jajan Felicilda last season? So there are some shifting around that has to happen. You can say all you want that they're all gonna play. No, they're not. They're not all gonna play. We've been through this dance with the UP Fighting Maroons in the past how many seasons with their security agency of guards. You can't play everyone. You cannot. And some guys will lose out. Speaking of losing out, I am worried about one guy in particular, VJ Pre. He seems like the odd man out with especially he already seemed like the odd man out without Andy Gemao there. Now he seems more like the odd man out with Andy Gemao there. Another guy who's gonna take shots and get the ball and run the offense. If you look at the stats the past two Asia Basket games, VJ Pre has taken 14 shots in around 42 minutes of action. Really? VJ Pre has only taken 14 shots in 42 minutes of action. And if you watch the game, they barely run anything through him, which is crazy given that FEU used to run everything through him. Now they don't run anything through him. They give him the occasional post-ups, but usually he's just a dribble handoff guy, screener, and he doesn't even get the ball back. He's sometimes only a spot-up shooter. He gets the occasional roll chance and gets a layup or gets the occasional three from a pass from their guards. But otherwise, they don't run anything through VJ Pre. And in that CSP game, you saw kind of the weakness of VJ Pre. He's not that, he's not a he's not a bad defender, but he's also not a great defender. In the first half, I think CSB, when they built their lead, they had 5 to 6 baskets just driving on VJ Pre. I think SJ Moore even had a dunk on VJ Pre. So, and in the end game, he was benched for Miguel Palanca because of his lack of defense. And we all know how Coach Gold values defense.
He loves defensive guys.
He loves the defensive guys. So if VJ Pre is not giving much on the offensive end and he's not stopping anyone defensively, maybe you'll see his minutes dwindle. And I don't know. He was a rookie of the year. We all saw him perform at a high level in FEU. This does not look like the VJ Pre of 2 years of 2 seasons ago. He looks like he's deferring, or he looks like he doesn't know how to play with guys that demand the ball more than him. So I don't know. It's been worrying for me how they use him. I think it's a mismanagement of his skill set. It's worrying. I know, Maui, you shared the same thing to me. It does not seem like he fits in to the UP Fighting Maroons, because he's a guy who needs the ball. He's a guy who needs to get his touches, and he does not get his touches. And ewan ko, maybe just me, I have not liked what I've seen from VJ Pre.
Do you agree, Maui, or is this Coach Gold experimenting during the off-season? Let's
Galing
give Coach
yun.
Gold the benefit of the doubt.
Galing yun sa one of the biggest fans of VJ Pre. 'Di ba si Gab? Yeah, I think it's concerning. Kasi if you really watch the games, 'di ba, you don't see a lot of plays being called out for VJ Pre. And it seems like si Bailas also demanded some usage, which was not prevalent.
Yun ba, Maui?
Diba?
It's a good point. Si Baila is getting more shots also. I actually think he took more. Correct me lang. I think he took more shots than VJ.
Yeah. And just so many guards again. I think it's pretty hard to be so effective, diba? When you need the ball in your hand. He's not a Francis Lopez. Diba, Francis Lopez thrives in pick and roll, thrives in fast breaks, thrives in
yung being the cutter, yung being the
cutter,
off-ball guy, diba?
Off-ball guy. VJ Pre is not that guy, diba? I mean, VJ Pre needs the ball to be effective. He can create some shots, which was seen in the game against Lyceum. Diba? He had 11 points, 4 rebounds, and 4 assists, but that's a game where they decided not to play the main core, diba, during that game. So if they get Andy Gemao, I'm not actually only concerned with VJ Pre, but actually I am concerned what the others will also be saying, diba? Kasi guys like Maga, guys like Payosing, these guys are expecting to get touches. They expected to get touches because they knew that the Maroon 5, the Maroon 4 plus 1 have already graduated when they're coming in. Diba?
I love how you remember the 4 plus 1.
There were rumors. Diba? There were rumors even nung finals that si Jacob Baila was so frustrated not getting touches. He wants to be a bigger part of the offense, and we're seeing it right now. Baila is demanding the ball more. Baila is driving to the ball more. What happens when they get another high usage guy like Andy Gemao? Will Baila be relegated to becoming a defensive stopper, a specialist again? So a lot of questions, but ako, if you ask me, if that's still Andy Gemao, you will have to find. That's like saying when they got Remogat, you have to find a way to make it work. That's what. Same with VJ Pre. When they got VJ Pre, they have to find out how to make it work with VJ Pre, because that's the only way they will unlock their full potential. They cannot fully rely on Remogat, diba? I mean, Remogat being the sole creator, being the sole guy to to score, create, initiate the offense has never been 100 proof percent, 100 proof basis in the UAP that they can win a championship. UE was up and down. UP was also up and down last season when they were experimenting on this. So having that option of an Andy Gemao might be a bad thing in the first few months, but ako, if I were UP, I would be looking to get this decision the quickest possible, so you can make all the pieces work at the earliest possible time.
point.
But I'm not that concerned yet. I'm not that 100%
Okay.
concerned, just because we know that si Coach Gold and his coaching staff have the experience to make any strong lineup work. It's a matter of really, I guess, controlling the emotions of the locker room with all of these stars, diba? Coach Gold has always been able to make that work with different star players, different lineups every season. So let's see how it unfolds. But ako, if I were a UP fan, I would be praying to get Andy Mo, because that will unlock another potential, another ceiling to them.
And that sets you up for the future, because alam naman natin marami din silang vets like sina Remogat who are leaving after this season or finishing their career after this season. So, interesting development for UP. Is this finally the off-season when Andy Gemao will commit to the UP Fighting Maroons? Dun sa mga UP Reddit fans, stay tuned. Stay tuned for that. Hopefully you follow us
Dalas mo sa Reddit.
on YouTube. Ang dami dun eh. I'm trying
That's where the rumors are.
get insights from people on Reddit. Okay, moving on. Maybe let's talk about the other teams quickly. Anything that stood out? Gab, alam ko you mentioned Mo Diassana is back for NU.
Yeah.
Anything
Mo
that stood out for you?
Yeah. Mo Diassana looks buff. He looked like he gained a lot of muscle. He was kind of a thin
Considering
dude.
lower limb, no? Lower limb injury.
So he obviously did some weightlifting in the past 2 seasons, 2 years, 1.5 years since he got that ACL injury, and I'm happy to see him back. I mean, this was a guy who finally made it to the UAAP and then tore his ACL in the first game of the season. That's sad. So I'm happy to see him back. He had a highlight, he had a dunk. Siguro comment ko lang, Asia Basket, he does not look at all like Omar Jan. No. They had a graphic of the
On
player
social
of the
media.
game of Mo Diassana, and the picture was Omar Jan. I mean, come on. Asia Basket, I'm sorry. NSAC, please do better. They do
Walang
not
galit si
at
Omar
all-
Jan yan.
Oh,
Omar
they do
Jan
not
looks at that.
They do not look similar at all. Siguro from the NU game, Reynaldo Mamay looked good. And if you are a boys basketball fan from the UAAP, Mama Calfanta looked really good. So, again, there are minutes opening up in NU. There's just it's just a matter of who's going to take them. So, Vince Reyes, who has not been in the lineup in the past 2 seasons. He was a star in Adamson. Mac Alfanta. They have this new guy, si Laconsay, who I think is a Phil-Am or Phil-Canadian. Si Insan, yung nandiyan pa rin, Maui, si Paul Francisco. I don't know if he can scale up his usage, but he can still shoot. Siguro one note, Tebol Garcia is having a rough NSAC, a rough Asia Basket. I think he injured his ankle in their first game. And then in this game, I think he got clocked in the tummy or something, or he hurt his lower body or his midsection, and he was down on the floor for a long period of time. So he has not had a good NSAC. He's been hurt for both their games. So Tebol, I hope in their third game or in the future games you don't get hurt. But yeah, happy to see guys like sila Mac Alfanta, Mo Diassana are getting opportunity, because as I said in our last episode, this NU team is still in flux. I think they're still trying to figure out how they are going to run their offense, what their roles are, who's gonna be in the rotation. They're still trying to figure those things out. Maraming nawala. Guys who played significant minutes for them last season. Jake Figueroa, Steve Nash Enriquez, Jola Manansala, Mark Parks, who did play a ton of minutes as their defensive stopper, is also gone. So, maraming minutes. Yeah, maraming minutes
Their
ang
best
nag-go.
their best players, and then another rotational guy.
Yeah, so I'm interested to see because honestly, in their games in NSAC, Coach Jeff Knapp has been pushing players in and out of the lineup. So it's really hard to get
Hindi mo gets yung rotation niya eh. It's hard to
yeah,
predict.
it's really hard to get a grasp on their rotations, yung tama kasami, and just who they are as a team. It's just confusing. It's confusing. They play some Dwayne Miranda, Humamoy, Garcia. We haven't even seen much of one of my favorite players, si Jed Locsin. And so they have a ton of guys that they have to incorporate and a ton of guys that they have to figure out if they are really going to make the lineup. It's weird. It's weird right now in NU. I hope in Phil Oil we get more of a closer to the season lineup, like a rotation that is similar to how they are going to run things once the season comes in. But right now, take a wild guess. If you watch the NU Bulldogs, take a wild guess. All I know is probably going to be Omar John and PJ Palacelo manning the front court, along with Kenshin Padrones. The others, I don't know.
And I think so far wala nang problem sa FSA slots, no. So since there are two FSA slots, we have Mo Diassana and Omar John coming in. Wala na tayong FSA watch for NU so far. Maui, anything that stood out for you over the weekend games?
Yeah, I think much like NU, Adamson is also struggling with their rotation. Where to get scoring opportunities.
Ang pangit ng game nila against Mapua. I think they only scored 48 points. Classic Adamson.
Classic Adamson game where you don't see guys scoring in double figures. Si Franzman hasn't taken the next step. The guards who we expected to become more consistent haven't been consistent. I think in flux pa right now. I think a lot of teams are trying to figure out their main rotation. I think if I were to comment sa NU, I think there are a lot of opportunities. Diba? The fact na si Mapang Alfanta was able to get this usage. Tebol Garcia has been getting injured but has been getting usage too. So we don't know who the main guys are gonna be. I think for Adamson, the only thing sure is Ray Allen Torres. But all the other things, especially the big man rotation, I think that's the more pressing issue when you talk about Adamson right now. But I think these teams have to figure it out. Kasi if you look at the other teams in NSAC like Ateneo, UP, LaSalle, and even UST, I think UST has given us a glimpse sort of who will get the usage, what will be the rotations like. A lot of things to be done by Coach Nash. And actually, I'm still waiting. Will there be more recruitment news for all the other schools? Especially these teams who are in flux. And the only team outside NSAC, UE. We haven't heard any recruitment rumors. Baka they won't be able to fill the lineup. I don't know.
That would be a first, no? For a season, like sabihin ng isang team, yeah, we don't have enough players. We're not going to compete for season 80, for season 89. That would be crazy.
That's crazy.
Yes, Sammy, go ahead.
But I think wala pang FSA for UE, so might be an all Filipino lineup.
From a 0-14 season, oh my God.
I like that you brought up Adamson. I think one of the guys that I'm worried about siguro is AJ Franzman. I haven't seen a lot from him since his debut season in the UAAP 2 seasons ago. I think he was really good then. We were hyped on him because nung off-season or pre-season, he was one of the
Pinoy
main
Liga.
guys.
He was one of the
In
top
Pinoy Liga,
scorers.
he was one of the top scorers. He proved himself his first season in the UAAP. Last season, he was up and down. I think he would have games na he would just disappear or not even get to play. But he also had games na he was maybe the hero. Parang ganon. Or I think he was also named best player in one of the games. I forget which one. But
Game against LaSalle.
Lasal, correct.
Against UP. You
Ay,
game
UP,
against
UP,
UP.
UP.
He was named
They,
the best player of the game, pero si Ray Allen Torres was the one who hit the big three.
game winner,
Tandaan ko yun.
yeah. Tapos
But he
parang
did.
naiyak pa
I
siya.
think he tied the game or something and made the
I
big
think
team
so, and
defensive
like
play.
had the double. But towards the end of last season, I think he was kind of quiet to me. This off season, parang nothing has changed in the way he plays. Okay, he's athletic, he's medyo high flying, relies a lot on his mid range shots. But I'm hoping to get more from a guy like AJ Franzman as one of the vets for Adamson. So maybe
It's
that's
because
a
their
guy that
offense has not changed, Sam. That's why he has not changed.
that's
Because
a
the
good point.
opportunities and touches that he gets are the same as with the
It's the
past
same.
season.
And kita natin from the Lasal game, memorize na ng Lasal yung gagawin nila. So that's the problem. So I think that's the problematic thing for me from Adamson. From FEU, honestly, I didn't get to watch this game, but
They
wow,
look
Kirby
good.
Mongcopa.
They
Kirby
look
Mongcopa
really
and
good.
FEU looked really good. And wala pa nga dito yung prized rookies nila coming from the juniors. Hopefully, si Cabunillas also joins them. But we talked about VJ Pre. I think what we're seeing from Kirby Mongcopa now, that's what we were
Grabe.
expecting from VJ Pre if he had stayed with FEU. Gab, the FEU fan, thoughts on your FEU Tamaraws so far in the preseason?
They look more connected. Again, this is the same roster from last season, and you can see it. Uh, it's a stark contrast, if you watch the weekend games. Stark contrast to how NU played and how Adamson played. Rotations are all over the place. Still a lot of figuring out to do. FEU doesn't have a lot of figuring out to do. They run the same 7-man rotation. The starting five plus Felipe and Montemayor coming off the bench.
Montemayor.
And now, with Zayn Mahmoud yung getting some minutes as a backup center and even at power forward with with the guard from their boys basketball team with their under 19, si Joshua Raniesa has just played. So that's a good thing. I haven't seen much of Liam Salangsang, who was the backup point guard last season. He hasn't played much, so not sure if he's still there. So again, it's the same team, and they look like it. They've blown out their past two opponents, both NCAA teams. A lot of Mo Konate has his imprints on the game there because there's no FSA in NCAA team, so he just dominates. But Kirby Mongcopa has looked like a monster. He's all over the place. He looks more spry, a lot more conditioned, if I may say so myself. And I don't know. I know we were hyped about Andy Gemao, pero pucha na, hype ako kay Kirby Mongcopa. Is this gonna be an MVP season for another FEU player?
Wow.
Grabe.
Back-to-back
Numbers, Sam.
FEU players.
Look at his numbers.
Crazy.
It's crazy.
2016-6.
Yeah, he's piling up numbers at an insane rate, and if you watch him, he's connected to his other teammates. He knows how to deliver the ball to Pasaol in the corner or to Joric Bautista in another corner. He knows how to deliver it to to Mo Konate on a drop pass. They know how to find each other on the court. They know their positions. This is chemistry. Something that you can't train for. It's something that you can't recruit. You have to play and go through wars to build chemistry. And this team looks like they built some of it. So I love FEU, man. I'm so hyped. I don't want to jinx
horse.
them or anything. Oh, but
Contender.
yeah, they look like a legit. I don't want to say with LaSalle and UP, but at least Final Four, they look good. They're solid, barring any injuries and any other, transferring that happens. I think this team is gonna be
Yun.
solid for season 89.
Maui.
Yeah, hype din ako kay Mongcopa. I've been telling you guys. And his averages just tell the whole story. He's averaging 20 points, 12 rebounds, 4 assists, 2 steals, and a block. I mean, if that doesn't scream MVP numbers, what does? For this coming
Two-way
season.
player Maui, diba? Yun yung okay kay Kirby. He plays both ends.
I think what he has developed a lot this off-season is yung playmaking, which I think will pay dividends for and will unlock a different level sa offense ng FEU. But unahan ko na we're only in April. FEU fans, magdasal na kayo, wag mag 0-4, 0-5 ang FEU sa first round because that has been a curse for the past few seasons. They have to start good early. They have to be consistent. I think that's what FEU has to build on the whole off season because everybody will know which players they will play big minutes. They have to be consistently good for this season for them to be successful and to finally become contenders. But I think FEU is unofficially, before we do all the preseason things, I think unofficially right now my dark horse contender for next season. They just have everything except the bench, which I think can be solved by some of their young players playing better, some of their junior players committing. One has already committed, and Felipe will also get healthier. So let's see. Outside shooting will be very important for this team.
I just want to add on to what Gab said, yung chemistry ng FEU. I think, again, credit goes to the FEU Juniors program also and yung grassroots program nila, being able to get a ton of their players from the juniors division. So, Mao, you mentioned it, they locked in Burgos. Hopefully, they also get to lock in Cabunillas. And that would be a huge boost for FEU. I think that would raise the ceiling significantly for this team. Okay, before we talk about the final 16, just a quick news update. We've been talking about...
Wait, Sammy. I do have some notes. Notes
go.
about NSAC. First of all, I did allude to this a while ago. The guy doing the social media graphics for NSAC. Again, please just get the right player to the right graphic. Also, in the games, just get the names right. I think for the second straight game, January Pasaol, in their starting 5 graphic, his last name is Pascual. Come on. He's the UAP MVP. You can't even get his last name right. That's unacceptable. Someone has to quality check. I mean, I'm sure someone quality checks the graphics that are being shown live during your live stream. So at least get that right. Aside from that, there are lots of their names that are misspelled. I forget the other names that I saw that were misspelled, but there were. The most glaring was really Pasaol. Being called a totally different name in Pascual is just crazy. Okay? The other thing is, the ones calling the game, the commentators, they don't seem to know the players, which is weird. I mentioned in the Ateneo UP game that someone the commentator kept calling Russell Ogana Sean Franco, and ako as a viewer, kilala ko yung mga players. I'm like, ha? Si Sean Franco ba yan? Hindi naman na. Si Ogana yan eh. So, I talked about si Mac Alfanta, and the commentator for that game kept on calling him by his full name, Carl Max Alfanta. Para
At least tama.
at least tama. And then I know it's Humamoy. I've heard Reinhard call himself Humamoy. It's not Jumamoy. So that's weird to me. And also a lot for this next comment, siguro spoiled lang ako kay Eric Collins. I do want a bit of emotion from the guy calling the game. It's great to describe the game and be objective, but
Mismo lang yung Hornets eh.
yeah, maybe, sabi ko nga, baka spoiled nga lang ako by Eric Collins. But in the FEU,
Amazon Prime Games, Eric Collins is there.
oo nga. Pero Maui, I watch a lot of these NSAC games. So, medyo stark yung difference eh. Like, for example, in the, sino ba kalaban ng FEU? I think it was Arellano. In the Arellano FEU game, si T-Mac Ongotan, great name by the way. Si T-Mac Ongotan,
Love that name.
Really, love that name. He took a cheap shot at Zayn Mahmoud. As in, siniko niya diretso sa chan. Si Zayn Mahmoud. Zayn Mahmoud answered by tackling him at a loose one. As in, full-on linebacker tackle on T-Mac Ongotan.
He's a big boy.
He's a big boy. As in, and then the commentator was no reaction. Like, oh, he hit him. Is that an unsportsmanlike foul? Is parang, diba, I think you'd want to feel the gravity of what just happened.
Ano gusto mo, Jerry the King Lawler? Ganong level ba? WrestleMania? Jerry the King Lawler at WrestleMania?
Ewan ko, something, Sam. I mean, if you look at watch the replay, Sam, I think you yourself, you would be, oh, wow.
Clothesline from hell. Whoa.
Clothesline from hell by Zayn Mahmoud. Or something like that. I mean, have a reaction. I don't know. I get you're trying to be objective and call the game, but in my opinion, there are times that emotion is warranted. Diba? Because the guys, to the people watching the game, you also want to feel that you're in the game. You also want to feel the emotion. And I think emotion is good when you're calling the game. I think, just my comments. Because parang monotone eh.
Na-miss mo
at
si
times
Boom
yung mga-
Gonzales. Like the UAP
Actually,
fans.
Actually,
Maraming comment.
the reason why Boom has stayed as long as he has, as the main commentator and guy on whether it's ABS-CBN or Signal or One Sports, is because he's a very emotional, and you could feel the excitement when Boom is calling the game. Same thing with Sinamico Halili. The reason why they've been around for this long, because they're pretty fun to listen to. Diba? They have yung mga tidbits, yung mga asaran nila, but also when the game is exciting, when stuff is happening in the game, you feel the emotion, you feel the excitement, and you feel like you're there. Even though you're at home, you feel like you're there. Diba? So that's what I hopefully see in the next NSAC games, and we're heading into the playoffs. So I hope we see more excitement from the commentators. More than just describing what's happening. Make us feel the game. You make us feel what's happening. Okay, talk about the playoffs,
All right.
Sammy. Go ahead.
All right, shout out to Asia Basket. Some constructive feedback or criticism here from the Sultan of Sando. Let's take a quick look at the playoffs. Final 16, round of 16 for Asia Basket and NSAC College Campus Tour. We've got 3 UAAP teams on one side, on the left, and 4 on the other side. Starting off with UP versus Adamson. It's going to be a tough
Practice na.
climb for Adamson.
They're the fourth seed.
Uy, nanalo yung Adamson sa Uma Jam. Uy, wag kayo dyan.
Actually, that's true. That's a good point. And nanalo din sila against UP last year sa Pinoy Liga. So we'll see. We'll see. But hasn't been a good Asia Basket NSAC tournament for Adamson. Baka tinatago lang nila yung secret weapon nila for UP. NU versus Arellano, Letran versus Perpetual Atlas, Beda versus LPU. That could be interesting. I don't know. For the other side, UST versus St. Clair. Whoever wins there will go up against the winner of Ateneo versus Mapua. Ito medyo mabigat. Ateneo versus Mapua. People are also looking out for this next game. LaSalle versus
Green versus
LaSalle.
green.
Green Archers versus the Blazers. And last but not the least, Gab's FEU Tamaraws going up against the Stags. Anything to watch out for in this game? Probably Ateneo versus LaSalle, possibly in the semis.
If Ateneo and UST both go through, I want to see another game at Blue Eagle Gym. Baka magka-triple overtime na naman tayo.
Oh, I like that. Actually, playoffs, may schedule na to eh. It actually might be in the Blue Eagle Gym.
But Sammy, they have to go through first.
I don't think it is. I think semifinals lang.
Semis.
And finals ng ano.
Sayang.
Pero sayang. Willing kami ni Gab, triple overtime ulit.
Wag na, Maui.
But yeah, there are a lot of
end.
potential matchups. I think aside from the Adamson Falcons and the NU Bulldogs, the other UAP teams have not lost. So pretty exciting. The LaSalle Benilde one.
Ateneo natalo na sa UP.
I'm sorry, have not lost to an NCAA team. Yung pala.
Okay.
So, sorry, LaSalle lost to San Beda. So, correction. LaSalle lost to San Beda pala. So, but yeah, the LaSalle Benilde game looks to be the main draw here, along with the UP versus Adamson one. Benilde actually has looked really good. They just faltered in the end game for their last two games, but I love their players because I've watched a lot of them. Si Torres, and Ian Torres, who always backs in his threes, a lot of threes. Si Alan Liwag reminds me a lot of a more offensive-oriented Cedric Manzano. Justin Sanchez, yeah, love it. So I'm waiting for that LaSalle Benilde game. And if LaSalle will actually play an FSA. They have not played an FSA. So
FSA watch?
That's something to watch.
Good point.
I think Alan Liwag is going to kill them if they don't have an FSA. He's really good. Si Alan Liwag. There's a reason why he's an MVP.
Two-time MVP. Yeah, I think yung LaSalle Benilde game. It's the best game in the first round of the final 16. I would be marking my calendar for that game. And yeah, si Alan Liwag. I really like the CSB offense because it's an equal opportunity offense. Even the big men, the tall wings, all have opportunity to create. And it's gonna be interesting to see how si Gagate, how si Pablo and Amos will be able to match up against that front court. But I think we will have a chance to have a lot of UAP matchups finally come the top 8. So that's something I'm looking forward to.
Okay, so that's it for the tournament brackets. One final thing before we end the show. Confirmed na. We've been talking about it. We haven't seen Lars Fjellvang playing for Ateneo. I think Nav's already posted Lars Fjellvang moving to the NCAA to join the San Beda Red Lions.
Balik high school?
Balik high school pala. No? To join the Red Lions. Quick thoughts on Lars Fjellvang deciding to join the NCAA and play for the Red Lions. Maui, ikaw muna.
Ako, honestly, I'm happy that he decided to go to an NCAA team because I know Fjellvang has a lot of potential to become a good big man in the UAP. Somebody that you can use like an Isaac Go or a Luis Pablo somebody you can match up with FSAs. Maybe not the whole game, but certain parts. I heard from the rumors I heard, there were UAP teams that were very interested, and I think nag-assist na lang ang San Beda to get him instead, since they want to become champions again rin naman sa NCAA. But yeah, I hope si Lars finds his way in San Beda. I'm not that sure if they're as strict as in Ateneo. If si Coach Yuri is as strict as Coach Tab when it comes to academics, but I hope he finds his way, because I think this guy has a lot of potential. He showed some flashes last year, diba? A 6'7", 6'8" guy who can shoot from the outside. Where can you find that here in the Philippines?
Not gonna lie, this hurts for Ateneo.
Mm-hmm.
Diba? Yeah, yung Maui's face says it all. We've talked about this when we watch Ateneo. They sorely lack size, and a big behind Divine Adili or Sultan Barua. It's tough. It's a tough pill to swallow if you're an Ateneo fan, because sabi nga ni Maui, he did show some things last season. Diba? Perhaps
Back-to-back off-season na tayo, losing promising young big.
Yep, and it's tough. Let's hope a guy like si Jacob Lacson, who also played with Lars Fjellvang in Ateneo de Cebu, or si Castillejos, can elevate their game and be put into the seniors lineup. I think they have to, because we just don't have any
No
size
choice.
at all. Ateneo does not have any size at all. So
Go to class, guys.
yeah. So that was my next point. We've been talking about this or hinting at this for months now, because while we don't like to talk about hearsay, this is more than just hearsay, because we're very connected to the Ateneo community and to those who work inside the Ateneo community, and first-hand plus second-hand sources have all told us that Lars was not a stellar student. And yeah, that's a thing with Ateneo. You have to go to class, you have to study, and Lars was not, taking that to heart, and that's why he's going to San Beda. And for San Beda, great get. I mean, they don't have FSAs there, so having a 6'7", 6'8" guy as big and strong as Lars Fjellvang is going to be a big asset. Let's see how he performs under Coach Yuri's system, and if he lasts. But I love it for him. Again, I wish him the best. I hope he finds his way. I hope his 1 year at Ateneo was not, it's not the entirety of his college life. And I hope he finds some mentors and some guys who can talk to him and point him in the right direction.
Yeah, I agree. Good get for San Beda. I think we've seen how Coach Yuri has managed or handled that team. I think he's a great players coach, can develop his players. So the players love him. So I think it's going to be a good experience for Lars also to play under him. Sad to see him go. But I think he'll get the opportunity and the touches in the NCAA, playing for a championship team, a team with championships aspirations every year, San Beda. So still a decorated basketball team in the NCAA. So good luck to Lars. Hope he can dominate there and find a role for himself. Okay, that's it for today's episode. Stay tuned for our analysis, discussion, reactions to the round of 16 teams in NSAC. And if you haven't yet, we are doing more NBA playoffs content every week. So please also check out that video if you're a fan of the NBA. If you want to talk about the NBA playoffs, do follow us on YouTube, Boleros PH.
Or if you're a fan of the Lakers, You're
Kaso
back
talo today eh. Wag na.
to the
Wag na. Talo pa today.
Lakers.
That's
Ako,
it
gumuna
for
si Min, the
today's
Lakers are back.
episode. Bye-bye guys. Ingat.